since you're the Czech TV cooking star, what is one of your favorite dishes to make?
Probably nachos, but like vegan and gluten-free nachos, because that's what I eat. So like diet cheese, and then cover it with all the really good stuff like olives and green onions and like tomatoes and beans, that kind of stuff. Something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Sounds good. What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Another episode. Glad to see your smiling faces. As you can see, I'm smiling too. Very grateful that you can join me today for another one. We got Vicki here. FitThruPlay is her business. She's a derby girl. You want to learn some skating in town here in Victoria. She's the girl. She's new to her entrepreneurial journey, but she's definitely not new to the craft. She's been skating for, I think, a little bit over 12 years. She has some quite achievements there, and it's great. I'm really excited to hear what she has to say when they're in the beginning, because we've had people from all different, kind of parts of their path, of their journey. So it's really good to catch someone at the beginning and hear some of what the thought process is and some of the struggles. So without further ado, here she is. Welcome, Vicki. How are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Awesome.
I have another lovely guest on my couch here. We've been doing the couch for those of you who haven't noticed. So, Vicki, you got yourself a nice little business there. Interesting. Skating. FitThruPlay.
Yep.
So, before we get into that, can you just tell us a little bit about yourself?
My name is Vicki Major, or I'm also known as Vicki Rage Sea Dance. That's like my roller skating performer name. Vicki is short for Victoria, and Rage is my roller derby name. My roller dancer name was Z Dance, so my Instagram's Vicki Rage Z Dance.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
I'm 32, single mom of 2, and during the day I work for Island Health. And on the evenings and weekends, I teach people how to roller skate.
Cool. So how long have you been doing that for?
Teaching people how to roller skate?
Yes.
I've been teaching people how to skate since I played roller derby with the Eves of Destruction. I taught like fresh meat occasionally, and then I started working with Roller Skate Victoria and doing that on a more regular basis with people like actually paying us to learn how to skate.
Cool.
And then in July I started my own company, FitThruPlay, and I've been doing that, teaching about 2 to 3 hours a day.
Okay.
Since July.
Cool. Yeah. That's exciting, right?
Yeah,
All
it's
new.
just starting, but this is what I want to do. I love teaching people how to skate and be active and learn how to do that in a safe, supportive, encouraging environment.
Well, I can see by the big smile on your face that you are very excited about it and passionate, which is very good.
Yeah.
So, how long? So, I guess how long you been skating for? You've been skating like what, your whole life, or did you just pick that up?
12 years.
12 years.
Yeah,
okay.
I started at the tail end of 2008. I went and saw a roller derby game in October, and then was just like, oh my gosh, I want to do that. So I contacted them and started in fresh meat, and that winter I spent like learning how to roller skate, and by the following spring I made it onto the travel roster and started playing.
Okay. So when you say fresh meat, that's just, is that like a level of the league, or is that just
that's like you're brand new, you're learning how, well, back then. So the Eves of Destruction have gone through like a lot of growth in the last 12 years, and it's a totally different program than when I started. When I started, you were just fresh meat and they tossed you in there, and there was like new skater learn how to skate nights, but then the scrimmages, there wasn't a lot of support going on, and I was actually put on the track with a yellow sticker on the front and back of my helmet after like 3 or 4 lessons. I didn't know how to stop properly. I was just like holding on to my teammates for dear life, and the yellow stickers were to tell the other players, like, don't hit her.
Too
really
hard.
Yeah. She can't handle it. There was a few of us, and like there wasn't a real intake. So back when I started, I was by myself. Like, I didn't know anybody. I joined it by myself, and then I didn't really have like a class to go with.
Right.
Kind of forged my own path in that way. But now there's raw meat. So they, at the eves anyway, they teach you how to skate in raw meat. And then at the end of that, you do a test. And if you pass the test, then you can go on to do fresh meat, where you actually learn how to play the game and like take those skills that you learned in raw meat and apply it to a game scenario.
Okay.
But you're not actually hitting each other or playing the game. You're just learning how to work as a pack, and then at the end of that you do your minimum skills test.
Okay.
And if you pass that, then you get to scrimmage.
Okay.
So like way more organized now
Yes.
than when I started, and it's great. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So no more into the frying pan, into the fire.
Oh,
I guess,
yeah,
the
it was
thing. So.
Trial by fire, completely. I hurt myself a number of times, but I was only like 20 years old, so I bounced a lot more back then than I do now.
Okay, so for those who are watching who don't know, give it a quick little like rundown of the objective when you're in the derby there.
Okay, so roller derby is a 5-on-5 game. You have one jammer on each team. There's a pivot on each team, and then 3 blockers. The jammer is the point scorer. They have a star on their helmet, and they're trying to get through the pack as quickly as possible. Whichever jammer gets out of the pack first on the first pass gets lead jammer, so they can call off the jam at any point in time. They do that by tapping their hips 3 times. Once the lead jammer position has been established, then it's a race to try and score as many points as possible. So the lead jammer is like a really strategic position to get. You want to get that because then you can run into the pack and maybe get like 2 points or whatever and call it off and stuff the other team. The pivot can take the panty, so it's kind of like in football, you know, when the I don't know football very well, but like the one person passes it and then so like the receiver kind of person is like the pivot. They're the pack leader. They're out there telling the blockers what to do because they are doing both offense and defense at the same time, depending on who's coming up to the pack. If it's their jammer coming up, they're doing offense, trying to get their jammer out of the pack as quickly as possible. If it's the opposing jammer coming up, then they are creating a wall and they are trying to knock that person down and out of bounds and recycle them to the back of the pack and really hold on tight so that their jammer has the opportunity to rack up as many points as possible. It's an hour-long game split up into 2 half hours, and then it's split up even further into 2-minute jams, unless the jam gets called early because the lead jammer wants to call it off to stop the other team from getting any points. It's complicated. There's literally 100 pages of rules and like 12 or 15, I can't remember. I haven't played in a while because I retired, and then I was going to come back, and then the pandemic happened, so I'm a little bit rusty on like remembering how many people are involved from refs and NSOs, but there's a lot. There's a lot of people in the middle skating around, making sure that you're not doing anything illegal. You can't use your elbows. You can't kick people. You can't run into the pack head first. You can't hit people going the opposite direction. Everybody goes in the same direction always. We don't change directions like in hockey. You change sides or whatever. That doesn't happen in roller derby. Not in the like Women's Flat Track Roller Derby Association version. There is a short track version where they do switch directions, but That's not the one that I play.
Okay.
So I'm like really uneven after 10 years of playing derby. My left side is way more messed up than my right side because you're always like falling to the inside. Anyway.
I was gonna say, you actually answered one of my next questions, but also, like, so how do you train for this? A lot of stretching or a lot of acupuncture or what?
Well, I was really lucky in a good position because I've been working for Island Health also since 2008. So I kind of started both of those careers at the same time, and I've got a desk job there. So even if I got injured, I could still do my job, except for this one time that I broke my finger and then I couldn't type. Or it was more difficult. I was like finger packing. And I also have really good benefits there too. So I got lots of chiro and lots of physio and acupuncture and all that kind of stuff done to maintain myself, and physio. I used the physio a lot because we actually had like unlimited physio for some reason. That was just the benefits package that we have. So I used physio a lot. I learned a lot from physio, and I've like maintained those exercises that they've taught me throughout the years in order to like try and keep my body held together as best as possible. I'm also a personal trainer, so I've studied that and how to condition for different sports. There's not a lot out there in terms of like literature on how to train for roller derby. Its inception of like its newest version. Roller derby itself has been around since the 1920s actually. The first roller derby was just men and women. It was actually way ahead of its time in terms of a co-ed sport. Would race together on a bank track. And it was a massive bank track, and they would just go around as fast as possible, and it was more like NASCAR back then. And then it came out again in like the 60s, 70s, 80s at different points in time with like, that's where people know Skinny Minnie Miller from, and they think that it's more like WWE type of style with the elbows and the clothesline and stuff like that. So it's been around for a long time, but since 2001, Texas Roller Derby, they brought it back with like these really intense rules with all the refs and the testing, and that's where women's flat track roller derby came from. So its modern version that's like super athletic and demands a lot of your body has only been around for 20 years. So kind of like on the ground floor of that.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk a little bit more about your new baby of a business.
Sounds good.
So what kind of classes do you offer?
I teach Learn to Skate. I have an 8-level program. I've basically written down like all of the skills that I know across all of the disciplines that I've picked up over the last 12 years, and then divided it up into 8 levels. I haven't been able to really execute that yet because like I started in July. So I just started level 1 class a couple of weeks ago. I've got 4 people in that one, learning from absolute ground level. We did our second lesson on Wednesday, and people are already skating backwards and transitioning.
Someone's a good teacher.
It's super rewarding. I love Learn to Skate and like working with people who really don't think that they can do it, and then seeing the like joy on their face as they learn how to fly on their skates, because that's what it feels like. I also teach a class called Derby Dance. It started off as like these women did the raw meat program with the Eves of Destruction. Pandemic happened. They want to keep up their skills, but they're not actually in the league yet. So one of them reached out to me and was like, I want to keep up my roller derby skills. And then we opened up the class, and the feedback was they wanted to touch on some dance stuff because roller dance is super great as cross training for roller derby. So we combine the two, and we do half of the class of like roller derby specific stuff, and then the second half more roller dance, learning combinations and putting together moves and things. And then I teach street skating. So I teach people how to like go up onto blocks and curbs and move from the sidewalk to the bike lane, go down hills safely, a couple of other basic roller skating skills and like fundamentals that you really need to have strong in order to do that. So I do that at the beginning, and then we do like a practical application portion of the class. And then I teach kids how to skate and how to roller dance. And what else do I do? Oh, I did a park skating class this morning at Gordon Head Skate Park.
Okay,
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I figure like that would probably be one of the most like fun one, because everything comes out as just like whatever you want to do kind of thing, whatever you want to try.
Yeah.
Right? So out of these range of classes, what would you say would be one of your favorite to teach?
I think teaching absolute beginners how to skate.
All right.
Yeah, because you don't know what you're gonna get, and some people have a background that they don't think is gonna apply to roller skating, and then it actually like comes out and it catches them off guard and is surprising, and they're able to do all of these skills that they had no idea their bodies or brains would be able to do. So that's just really rewarding. And then also just working with people that maybe are lacking self-confidence and like being unsure, and seeing them build in confidence through skating. Yeah, it makes me really happy.
Cool. I was gonna guess. I was like, it's either the beginners or maybe the kids. I was like, oh, which one's gonna be?
You're totally right. The kids, it's beginner kids. There, that's the money class. And then we'll just throw in a quick little plug for those watching that are interested. How do they sign up? Well, I have a number of classes that are open, and I can also do private lessons, or like keep it within your bubble. So just DM me on Instagram, on Facebook. I have a Facebook page, and there's also a student group. So once you start taking classes with me, I add you to my Facebook group. So you get, I record some content so that you can keep practicing at home. And things too.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I love asking this question to entrepreneurs, and it's great that you're newly entrepreneurial. So I noticed you got a couple daughters, right? Like you said, right?
I have a daughter and a son.
Oh, a daughter and a son.
Yeah,
sorry.
that's okay.
Two little ones. Mm-hmm. How do you balance island health, roller skating, and the two little ones?
Well, they're skaters, so that helps a lot. I bring them with me to my classes when I have them. I also share them with their dad. We're not together anymore, so I have them 50-50. And they're involved. They know that this is like really important to me, and it's like our family business. They help me a lot. They're my little muses and my subjects, and they're in my like promotional stuff all the time. We do it as like family projects, and I get their feedback on different moves and dance combinations. Yeah.
That's great. Like, I understand that. I don't have two. I just have the one. But yeah, I'm always like, hey, you want to help out or this and that? And sometimes he'll help me like do deliveries or even sometimes filming. He'll be like, hey, is that in frame? You know, and I was like, oh, look at you. So
I know, right?
It's great when you can do the work and the play all together. It's kind of nice. Adds that time bonding. Yeah. So yeah, you're very fortunate.
Leo, my son, he's older. He's almost 10. So he's actually really good with the camera.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And he loves editing and stuff. He likes taking pictures and like.
Perfect.
Yep. So it's right up his alley. And when I did a kids class, I had my daughter come, and she was my assistant. So she demoed all the things for me, because it's actually helpful for me to have somebody else there that they can relate to, because watching me do the thing is a little bit intimidating, maybe, because I can't do that. There's no way. You've been skating for 12 years. You're a grown up. But if I have Adeline there, I'm like, Adeline, show them how to do this thing. And then she does it, and they can relate to that a little bit better. And it's kind of like a bridge, a stepping stone.
Yes. That's always important. Yeah. So there's a lot of people out there, they think, oh, starting a business, that's easy and all this stuff. And and the people who actually do it are like, mm-mm. So it's kind of nice that, like I said, you're in the beginning. So would you be able to like tell us some challenges and some things that you had to overcome?
Finding a space. It's challenging. Just like staying on top of keeping track of all the numbers and stuff. But I want to have enough students involved so that I can afford to pay for somebody else to do all those things, because I really have zero interest in that. I want to just teach people how to skate. So I'm trekking through right now, sledging through, but in the long run, I don't want to be doing any of those things. That's challenging. I also have ADHD, sorry. And so like, and I find that really boring. So that is a really big challenge to like keep redirecting myself back to the thing that I despise most.
Yeah, no, I know. It's humble beginnings, and then as you grow, you'll be able to like delegate some of that work, and build a team.
Build a team. Love that. I do have a friend who was actually one of my first skating clients. It started off with a private lesson, and that's where the street skating class came from.
Okay.
Was her private lessons. Now we've become really good friends, and we like built skates together and stuff. So I'm able to start transferring a little bit of, and she's another one of those bridges kind of that I can ask to demonstrate. So I'm super grateful for my friend Kayla for helping me with that kind of stuff.
All right, shout out to Kayla.
Thank you.
Okay, so I know, with everybody things are tough, pandemic, all that stuff, but post-pandemic, any exciting like big moves you plan on making, or maybe new classes or anything? What's the future of your business looking like?
I'm just kind of like going with the flow right now. I left Roller Skate Victoria, and I had people still want to learn from me. Okay. So that's where FitThruPlay came from, was kind of out of necessity. Like I wanted it to be under something, what I was doing, the teaching and stuff. And more people just popped out of the woodwork wanting to learn from me and work with me on things. So it's kind of organically happening. I would eventually down the line like to have my own space for sure, because right now I'm working out of a parking lot most of the time, or parks or tennis courts or down by the breakwater, different areas around, skate spots around town. So I'd like to have my own studio where I could sell skates out at the front, and then teach people in the back.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So what does that space look like? Like you need that gym flooring and everything.
Yeah. Like laminate, like what you have here, or polished concrete is also really good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Sport court, even like Eagle Ridge, something like that.
Okay.
But it doesn't have to be that big. Yeah.
All right. Well, I will throw in one more question for you.
Okay.
So, for those of you who don't know you, what is something that you would like people to know about yourself that you don't often share?
Well, I don't really talk about all of my past history with skating, because a lot of people just kind of came along with me and knew me along the way. But I played for Team Indigenous at the Roller Derby World Cup in 2018. I traveled to Manchester, England. I paid for that as a single mom myself. I fundraised it by collecting bottles for like 6 months straight. My car smelled like beer. And prior to that, I played a lot of tournaments and at a variety of different levels. I've played roller derby on co-ed, and I helped my friend start up a co-ed league here, and I used to win like MVP awards for a variety of different. I have a hard time kind of talking about that stuff because I feel like it's bragging,
okay.
but
no, you're allowed to brag on my show. It's all good. It's all good.
I really wish that I had kept a better record of it, because I honestly don't know how many times I won MVP. Which sound I'm modest about that kind of stuff. So
it's okay. You're allowed to brag.
It was a long career though.
Okay.
So yeah, I won MVP for blockers and as a jammer, and then tournament MVP and stuff too. So if you're starting off skating, if you're starting off with roller derby especially, because you play a lot of games and tournaments, keep track. Keep a record. Take a snapshot of every little acknowledgement and trophy that you have, and save in your Google Photos or something, or post it on Facebook, so then you see the memories come up, because later in life, it's nice to have those affirmations.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you very much, Vicki. I appreciate you coming, and we'll let it go like that.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
All right. So there you go, Vicki, FitThruPlay. Wow. New business. It's great to hear what she had to say. Single mom, full-time job, side hustle, no excuses. With her passion, dedication, she gets it done for her and her family. There you go. So keep that passion, dedication, persistence high in whatever you believe, in whatever you're trying to do, and you will overcome the challenges that may come your way. So just remember that if you're there on your entrepreneur journey trying to start. Also wanted to mention Vicki. We were talking after, and she makes roller skates, which is crazy. She also maintains them. So if you're out there listening to this and you know someone or with your skates, so don't hesitate. Hit her up on Instagram. Apparently, it's really a lot of roller skates are in back order because a lot of people have been taking it up. It's been a very popular thing, especially during this whole pandemic. So hit her up if she says she has some hookups potentially to get skates. So I just wanted to throw that in there for her. Big shout out to Vicki for coming through once again, and shout out to y'all for listening, tuning in. I really appreciate it. Don't forget, hit the like button. You know what to do. Follow me on Instagram, and we'll see you next time.